Hello everybody, it's Ted Bayhas with Tech Rep Marketing. I am at Northern Sound and Light, and I have a new cool product group to show you today. What I have behind me are a couple of the new PreSonus StudioLive AI PA speakers. We've been waiting for these things for a really long time. So I'm going to give you a little bit of overview about the speakers. Unfortunately, in a YouTube video, I can't give you much of a sound demo. You're going to have to talk to somebody at Northern Sound and Light and see if you can get down to hear these things. They're great. But let me tell you a little bit about them, and we can go from there. The concept behind these speakers is to try to get them to sound as close to a control room monitor or a studio control room monitor as possible. Pretty easy to do with the small box, but really difficult to do in a big box. And in order to do that, they had to do some pretty clever stuff. So I'm going to kind of get into the box here and tell you a little bit about what you see in these speakers. First of all, they went to renowned speaker designer Dave Gunnis of Fulcrum Designs. And basically, he brought some of his technology into these speakers that are pretty unique. What you'll notice about all of the speakers, there's actually three top boxes in the family and a subwoofer. There's a 312, there's a 315, and a 328, which is standing right behind me here. All three of these individual speakers feature the same mid-range and high-frequency driver. And this is kind of some of the secret sauce that happens in these speakers. What you have here is an 8-inch mid-range driver, and then you have a horn that's concentrically placed inside of that driver. They call this coaxial technology, and basically what the idea behind this is that because the two things are sitting in the same space, you're going to get a much more even and much more neutral presentation of both your high frequency and your mid frequencies in the box. One of the other benefits of these boxes is that all of them are three-way boxes. So you have a dedicated driver in the mid-range, a dedicated high-frequency driver, and a low-frequency driver. And the advantage there is the fact that you don't have that kind of scooped mid-range that you have in a lot of two-way boxes. So this is definitely something that comes from the studio world, which what you see in the studio world, the high-end studio monitors typically are three-way boxes as well. So you have a separate transducer that's designed to reproduce each of those individual frequencies. One of the other cool things about the AI Series PA speakers is that they all feature active integration. This is something that exists in the new series of 32, 24, and 16 channel StudioLive boards. They have the same AI processor in those boards sitting inside of the speaker. And that processor is doing a couple things. First of all, it's fixing all the little problems that you typically have with the speaker box. So all the little diffusion issues and some of the other things that happens with the box. It also time aligns all the components, and this is especially important for the coaxial part of the speakers. That's a big deal. And it gives you the capability, with some software that's coming up, to be able to control these speakers remotely from an iPad or from a computer source. So this is a pretty big deal, because you have all the stuff at the low level that allows you to fix all the problems with the box, but there's also enough DSP sitting inside of here to allow you to go ahead and fix some of the things that you have in the room, the typical things that you would have to use a drive rack for. So, delay, there's a 31-band graphic equalizer sitting inside of there, and some other processes that are inside of the box that you can control via Wi-Fi. There's actually a little USB port here, and you can put a Wi-Fi NIC in here. And actually, with the upcoming software on the iPad, you'll be able to control these completely and process them from the iPad. Another advantage, you'll see there's a port on here. Eventually, we're going to have Dante connectivity on these speakers as well, which is a pretty big deal. Dante is becoming pretty important in the performance spaces. So you're seeing a lot of boards that have Dante and a lot of peripheral devices. And what Dante is a fancy name for just being able to carry your audio and your control over a Cat5 cable. And what's nice about it, like MIDI, you can actually connect a bunch of different manufacturers' products underneath one network infrastructure. So, anyways, the other thing that you have in the back of the box too here, you have one of the X-Max preamps that are the same preamp, the same high quality preamp that you have on both the StudioLive 32, the 24, and the 16. So that technology is something that obviously PreSonus is known pretty well for. There's also a standard line input here. The front end on this, by the way, can take up to 24 dB of signal on the front end. So you have a great deal of headroom on the front end of this. And then you have a speaker out here that controls your output level and a mix out. So this is actually, if you want to go to the next source or to chain these together, you're able to do that very, very easily. Lastly, all of these speakers are designed to work with the subwoofer, and there's a subwoofer in the family. All of the speakers are also 2,000 watts. And what's nice about that is that it gives you a lot of headroom for your production. So you can, not only do these sound very, very nice, they sound very much like a control room monitor, but you have a ton of headroom. And that's a pretty cool thing. So there you have it. You have the new PreSonus AI PA speakers. The 312, the 328, there's a 315, and the sub. And these are available at Northern Sound & Light. They are shipping now.